Hello everybody. Okay, so no. This time around, no. I have a realization within myself about creativity, because the thing is, I feel very sad in a way about how the creative industry works. So the story is that I watched a video on YouTube yesterday, and the video is about a young artist. She recorded a video on the title in itself. It goes like this: how I felt being lied to about art career. Like actually not exactly the word by word, but that's what she meant. So what she said in the video is that she felt very disappointed by what she had been told since possibly when she was like younger, that you're gonna find a job in the art industry. Like you're gonna find a job, you're gonna have a good art career. Just keep doing what you're doing. But then she doesn't feel that way, like at this point in her life. And she is not that she has not been in any kind of full-time job, as in relating to art. She did, and she has been actually doing freelance jobs and full-time job, all relating to art somehow, some way. But then it's her being so open for the first time on her own channel about she felt being lied to, like so-called being lied to, is that no, it's not as shiny and glamorous as it seems. Because for all the videos that she posted prior to this one, the newest one, or she looked she looked very glamorous and chic, stylish in all of her previous videos. But it's only in the most recent one that she posted, she expressed herself, her really true inner feelings that it's not true. Like it's actually not what it is. So I don't know if I can link it. No, I don't think I can link it at this moment, like for my channel, because there's a certain threshold that I have to pass in order to be able to link videos, I guess. But we'll see. So her name, the channel's name is something by Prada. But I will see if I can post it if anyone is interested in it, I'm going to post it in the post section, okay? The community page in my own channel, this channel. So how I actually feel about it is, after watching this video of hers, is that I realized that this is a very non-sustainable creative cycle for a lot of artistic people or creative people out there in the world. Because you see, what I mean by non-sustainable is that whatever we input, right? Because for every system, for anything to work, there is a system. Even for nature is like that, isn't it? So the input and output, and then it goes on like this. But in order for a system to be sustainable, whatever comes out of the output, right? The output, there's all of this actually goes back into the input. So whatever is sustainable, it simply means that there's no waste. Everything goes back into the input of the system. So it becomes a very sustainable cycle. So nothing goes to waste, right? That's how Mother Nature works as well. And so this is the same case for art, for creativity to work. Now, the entire thing is I actually drew something out, and let me see if I can post it here. But let's keep going. The input is this, the output is this one. For the creative people, when we input, what do we input into the system, right? It's actually our passion for creative expression, artistic expressions. This is the passion, right? That we want to create something new, to express, right? Through different kind of mediums or media. Now, and then through the input, it goes through a process which we can call the creative process. And through this creative process, it will lead to the output, or we could say the outcome. Then it would possibly be the artwork in itself, right? In any way, shape, or form. It can be a video, it can be a painting, it can be a music piece, a song, right? The output is this, right? However, it's so interesting is that the output, now what usually people in art industry sees is that the output equals money or any kind of material gain, okay, or any kind of commercial success. So, i.e., it could be fame, it could be status, it could be award, it could be monetary, okay, rewards. Like all this equals output. Oh, output. This is quite detrimental. Why? Because here's the thing. When we are at the output, see, I was saying in order for any system to be sustainable, it actually has to go back to the input, right? So then we have the resource being recycled in a way to keep us going, to keep us moving forward, or say, keep us having the passion to keep creating, right? Now, this is the thing. The interesting thing here is that the output, which I just mentioned, usually what people see is they equal output as monetary success, commercial success, or fame, gaining fame, okay? But the very interesting thing here is that all these things actually are not the fuel, F-U-E-L, the fuel or the food that actually feed the passion. So it is actually not, the output is not the input. The output is not the input. So naturally, over time, the passion here would decline because it's not being fed as in, feed into it. What is the fuel for passion? The fuel for passion is actually the freedom to express, the freedom to creatively express oneself, also the creative process. When whoever you have any kind of creative experience, is that when you draw, it's the actual process in itself that feels the most enjoyable, right? And I mean, the outcome is cool, it's lovely, but it's the time we spend for anyone, even if it's for culinary, right? Cooking. Yeah, the tasting is good, but it's actually you're experimenting with different kind of flavors, combination of, the sauce, whatever it's the creation of new flavors. That is also a creative process. Not only in this way, it can also be computer programming. When say it's like a software developer, okay? The coding in itself is also a creative process that you're using new ways of weaving in the codings. So then you put your imaginations into reality through the codings. Everything is a creative process. But what happens here is through this input to the output, this upper part of the cycle, this is what we call the creative process. This creative process is very structured by what I call it as the formula. The formula is the formula that usually in the industry is so ingrained in most people, many of many of our minds, that we think we have to follow these kind of cues and standards in order to reach the top or like keep climbing the ladder. But not knowing that this is the entire process that we actually needed to actually be the creative process. But we thought this is a creative process, but this creative process, when entangled with the formula, which is very commercial, or say being commercialized, it then, our passion would then be actually fitting into the system that is based on simply monetary gains or material gains. And that would then distort our passion, kind of transform our passion into the output in the form of money, that it actually does not feed our passion in return. Like the return cycle of it, like from this side to it does not actually feed the passion. Then if that's the case, how can it be sustainable? How can creatives be actually keep moving forward with the passion, keep going, right? So I'm not saying that the money is I'm not demonizing money. I'm not demonizing commerce. I'm not saying this is negative, this is bad. No, I think it's that we have to kind of give it more of a balance, that treat commerce as a tool that support creative expressions, instead of using art as a way to support commercial growth. I mean, it is possible and it is also wholesome. It can be wholesome, but I think there's a fine balance here that we all can explore together. Because why is it that so many artists now are starving, so-called? Because everyone's trying to kind of make a living out of it, right? The thing about the output, money, right? The money, or say monetary gains or material gains, these are actually fuels, the food for survival. They are not the food for the passion. So it is a mismatch. How I would see it is a mismatch, because whatever we actually put out, the passion is really pure. But then throughout this creative process based on the formula, which is kind of like a prison structure, because this formula is something that we have to fit our creativity into. So what does it mean? It's a prison. It's behind bars. It's behind a so-called invisible structure, but it's there. So the creativity is constrained by the formula, and so it can't be expressed freely. And so evidently, it would be distorted and thus turn into an output that we did not actually realize. It's actually, we thought that's the way. We thought that I need money or commercial success in order to validate my work as valued. But no, that's the bug here. Like I'm like, that's the bug. B-U-G. To me, that's the bug here. Because we are not here to seek for external validation in order to validate our work, our artwork, which is actually, most of the time, we associate that with our own existence. Right? We identify our creations as our own existence. So if my very own existence is directly linked to commercial success, because I see that commercial success as how it would validate my artwork and thus me, my existence, then of course I would be feeling so threatened, right, by the output. But the entire thing here is that no, the output that I thought I need, which is like commercial success or anything like this, okay, it does not feed my passion. It is not what I set out to have. it is not what I intend to experience, it does not match. It's a mismatch. So I'm just putting this out here as a thought. All right, like okay. So if anyone has any opinion or your stories to share as a creative, or anyone who has certain experiences like that, please feel free to share your viewpoint and to what should I say, like to foster a very healthy discussion here. And so thank you for listening. I appreciate your time and patience and your support, and so I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.